I'm really excited and honored to create this video where I share more about me, my intentions, about my channel, about what I offer to the world in the way of us all being enough. You know, we have this self-doubt, we don't feel good about ourselves, we're always second guessing and we're always seeking, trying to find, trying to get there to more peace, more well-being, all of those things. And within that, and I've learned this from my own journey and sitting with so many lovely people for the last 17 years, I've been a mental health therapist, and now I'm sort of transcending and blending and incorporating spirituality. And so for me, it's now mind, body, and spirit and spirituality, whatever that means to anyone. This is my little doodle. She's always got to be right here. And then I have my other little friend laying here. And if we're always trying to get somewhere, be something else, what does that mean about where we're at right now? It means some version of I'm not accepting myself, I'm not feeling okay. And this is because it's parts of us that are holding the feelings, the energy, the beliefs, all of that. And those are all patterns that are running. And there's nothing wrong with the patterns. See, we're like, well, I'm anxious and I can't function in the world in a way that I should be able to. And where does that all come from? From outside. So I can say in my now 57 years of living, probably in the last 15 directly, and it keeps shifting and expanding and getting more like deepening and more rich about who am I really? And so I want to begin to share more of this here on my YouTube channel. And one of the reasons, not only because I'm just really passionate, I want to put myself and content and teachings out to the world because we're not alone in this. And one of the reasons why I really like to express this and share this on YouTube is because for many, many years that I've been on YouTube, or, accessing YouTube, not just me being on YouTube, with the teachings of people who vulnerably and authentically put themselves out to the world. They're sharing their stories and they're so inspiring. I find it so inspiring. And not all of them relate to me, right? So the ones, and maybe that's similar for you if you're here, tuning in, we are looking for answers and we do need support from outside of ourselves. But what I love now are the teachings that bring you back into yourself, that there's nothing wrong with you, and to access your higher wisdom. Because anyone who puts out there, you need to do these 5 steps, that's great because that worked for them and it works for the people that they know that it worked for. But we are all unique. We have a lot of similarities, but we're all unique in where we're at, what resonates for us, and what helps us. So I like to teach the discernment, when people are going to a professional, whether it's me or anyone else, is that professional only knows what they know. Those aren't like facts. That's a truth that they know. And I think what's happened for so many of us is we're disempowered, and so my people that I seek to support now, whether they're practitioners or therapists or whatever, they're guiding me to tune into me. And even if I go to a medical professional, they have their perspective. I now make the time and space for myself to see, does this resonate with me? Am I just going to do this thing because they just told me to do it and I have no wisdom about this? I don't have any direct experience with it. That's why I go to them. And they can say, well, I've seen this work for some of my patients in this way. And that could mean it'll work for me and it may not. So I really am wanting to, my whole intention here is to really my offerings are to support you to be empowered within yourself. And the content I put out here, sharing some of my stories, I really appreciate that when people do that, like getting to know a person who's offering this information. And I'm not doing it from the energy of, I am this expert, I have a expertise that means I know what's right for you, because I don't know what's right for you. I can say, here's what I've seen that's helped me, here's what's helped my clients. And very much what's been so helpful in my 17 years as a mental health therapist was pretty early on, and it's just been expanding since then, as I realized something's missing if I'm just helping people be in their head, analyzing, describing, talking about what was in their childhood, traumas, things like that. And often that can just make things worse when that's the only thing we're doing. We're encouraged to talk, just go talk about it to someone. And yes, we do. We need to talk. We need to be with someone. However, I just wasn't seeing people feel much better, and I wasn't feeling much better. And I had been in therapy for years, and I felt like I understood about why I felt the way I did, to an extent that keeps deepening and enhancing over the years as the more I look at the bigger picture of me and what the meaning that I interpret is of me being here in the world. But it's like the cognitive understanding of it, like if a parent isn't there for you, and you can have a reframe of, it's not because I'm not lovable or not good enough, it's because they just couldn't be available because of what was going on for them. We can know that up here, and a part of us knows that, but deep down we have other parts. Like some people may know about inner child work, or that we have, inner children that are still sort of back in time, and they're holding beliefs that, as much as I want to tell that part, you are good enough, she doesn't really believe that. And that's what's running our life in a lot of areas, if not every area. It's the subconscious stuff. Just, it's unconscious. We're not conscious of what that is. And so the work that I love to do for myself and others is bringing all of this in together, that when we're feeling like we're not enough, that's not the entirety of your identity, like it might feel like. It overtakes us. And then it feels like that's who we are. But it isn't actually who we are. It's just something we're experiencing. And we want to honor that. Because often what we do is we bury it just right away, right? We have other parts that come in. And I'm drawing from the framework of internal family systems here when I talk about parts. But most people resonate that, oh yeah, part of me wants this and a part of me doesn't. And, or there's opposing polarization of perspectives that what the parts feel and believe. So, but if we can honor what comes up as something that just wants to be seen and felt and honored and loved, that's what we all want. I think that's one thing all of us humans have in common, whether we realize it or not. And everything we're striving for to change in our life, something we want to get, something we want to feel, is all about that. And that runs really deep. But it doesn't have to be a whole bunch, like years of therapy necessarily, and certainly not just talking about it. There needs to be, what I have found is an embodiment where you feel, you get connected in your body. We live most of our day from here up. And so the practices and tools that I share with people are things like heart coherence. When you connect with your heart area and you put your hand over your heart, you're lighting up this area, this consciousness in your body. It has its own magnetic resonance. And then you can bring coherence and harmony between your heart, your head, and your entire body. That will shift your awareness, your consciousness of you. Because when you get out of your head, which is where all of those thoughts and doubts and things come in, and then you feel that in your body, you'll start to feel a bit calmer. And we don't do that to try to get away from, minimize, or bury feelings. But if we can draw from that higher wisdom, like that core soul, higher self, intuition, people call it different things. And when you cultivate the coherence, you get more lovingness towards all parts of you. You get new solutions and ideas that never would have come into your mind because the mind only knows what it already knows. And there's infinite possibilities that we can access when we go beyond the limitations of the mind and what we think we know. And our mind, that part of us wants to be in control. It doesn't like uncertainty. And yet uncertainty is where, if there are solutions, that's where we can find them. We need our mind, we need our brain, we need all of that. Of course we do. But it's like going beyond ourself. The self that we believe we are, which is probably only this much, it's not the fullness of it. So if any of this resonates, this is where the content of my channel is headed. I have so many ideas and content that I want to share, and I do welcome that as you watch any of my content and you have questions or curiosities, please reach out and share them in the comments. Do my best to make videos that speak to that. If you want to know any more about working with me, I have a link down in the description, and you can book just a free phone consultation with me, and we can just kind of chat about where you're at, what you are desiring, and of course then I describe more about how I work with people. But whether people come to go work with me or not, I just really want my channel to be a place where you can come for guidance, support, in as much as it resonates with you. So thank you so very much. And just appreciate you being here listening, and I hope you have an absolutely lovely day. Bye for now.